So welcome everyone to our Loving Waters New Moon Water Guardian Wisdom Share. So this call is just an opportunity to really begin to deepen into who we are as water and to feel into the watershed that's surrounding us, to become aware of these beautiful, subtle energies that are nourishing our planet, nourishing our plants, nourishing our animals. And that we, as all relations, get to fully align with, and even more than align, embody this beautiful divine energy, this unconditional love as it comes within us and moves us into our sacred actioning. So tonight, obviously, is this incredible evening. It's the new moon, but also it's this time of solar eclipse. Here it was a few hours ago, and we're excited to be here. Both Charlie and I, as Loving Water Council Guardians, are here. We're holding the space for all the other council members that are traveling and just presencing themselves in the beautiful way that they are. And we are also holding this circle of light as it's expanding out into the greater family of love that we are. So this evening, we're very blessed to have Gentle Thunder here with us. And she's going to open the way and to move us into this group sharing afterwards. So on this call, the way that it works, if you're new, is that we invite you to really express your love for water. For the people that are on the phone, we love you to say your name, and if you know your watershed, what your watershed is, and if you don't, just a river or a creek or a pond that's near you. So it gives us a sense to really feel that depth of relationship, the sacred relationship. Yeah, so I'm Shelley Darling. I'm here in New Hampshire, and we just, Charlie and myself, and say hi, Charlie.
Hello, Charlie Riverman, council member. I'm from York, Maine, and so my watershed is the watershed of Mount Agamenticus, and it's been a joy to be here and spend the day with Shelley, blessing the water. You'll hear more about that as we move into the show. Yeah. Powerful day. Thank you.
Do you want to just quickly say, Elaine actually has to go, so Gentle Thunder, hold on 1 minute. We're just going to breathe. And would you like just to share anything?
Yes, I'm Elaine, and my watershed is the Connecticut River. I live in western New Hampshire, and it flows into the Atlantic Ocean. So that is my watershed, specifically the Sugar River, which is really sweet.
So we always start this call with a resonance, and we invite you to just close your eyes, drop into your heart. And Gentle Thunder, do you want to open this call and take us into just this beautiful love of water? So, oops.
Would you like a prayer or a song? Oh, I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Okay. All right. So I would like to open with a small prayer and then lead into a song, and then back to you. Aho mitakoyasin, great creator. Pachamama ton unseen Mother Earth. Thank you for all these divine beings who are stewards of sacred waters, all these water keepers, water protectors. Many, many, many blessings to you all. Thank you for doing your work. As we continue to do our work with these waters, with the elementals, blessing waters with our songs, with our heart chakras, with our drumming, with our instruments, whatever that might be. Bless you, bless you, bless you on your journey, on your walk. May you always be provided with everything that you need and then some. May you always be safe. May you always be happy and full, walking in balance, walking in love, in the beauty way. I hope. Aha. Way ya ya ya, way ya ya ya, way ya ya ya, way ya ya, way ya ya. Ya-yo, hey-yo, hey. Ya-ya-ya, way-ya-ya-ya, 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 way-ya-ya, way-ya-ya, ya-yo, hey-yo, hey. I still can't hear you.
Okay, here we go.
There we go.
So let's just take a moment and deepen into the stillness. Ooh, it's hard to talk. So again, welcome Elizabeth, who's just joining us. And so tonight, we just open the way for you, Gentle Thunder, to share into this field. And we're just here to receive the message of the water on this auspicious evening. We recognize the ancestors and the grandmothers. And so we open the call to you.
Okay, thank you, Shelley. Here in Colorado, I live just northeast of Boulder. There are many bodies of water here, really blessed in that way. Lots of creeks and rivers. The closest, I'm here at a park called Loomis Park. It's a man-made lake here, but less than 2 miles away from me is called Three Ponds. And a beautiful, small waterfall over there. I go there often to get cleansed and to give gratitude and sing to the waters, put my feet in there and have her wash away whatever it is I need to have leave me that doesn't serve my highest good. I would like to share that many of our sisters are being called to become water carriers, water protectors, and the biggest thing that's transitioned lately is that we are all being called to create these beautiful grids, um, primarily composed of different types of crystals. And that could be whatever crystals that we all are guided to use. And some of these sisters are being guided to put these grids in bodies of water, whether they're creeks, rivers, streams, or oceans, or at least as close as possible, even if it's on the land, as close as possible to these bodies of water. And with the intention that when the snows come here, when the snow melts, the waters rise and those crystals will be taken downstream. So that's something that I felt really strongly to share with you on the shift and working with the waters and what that looks like and how it's coming about. And primarily women, of course, because we are the feminine divine, and so is water. Some men are doing the same thing. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. And of course, you know, water, changing the frequency of water is a very easy thing to do, as long as we trust ourselves and we center ourselves from our heart space. We can put our feet in the water, we can sing to the waters, we can play our instruments to the waters, and just even our good intentions will help change the frequency of the waters. One time when I was living in Sedona, asked by Creator to go grid the land there, I was often guided to go to Oak Creek, different sections of Oak Creek. And after I would tone to the waters, I would just scoop it up, because not many places in California can just do that. I just scooped it up and drank it. And I would tell people that I did that. They would say, "What are you doing? You'll get sick. You'll get parasites." I said, "No, I won't. I just changed the frequency of the water. It's fine." So I never got sick. Yeah. So anyways, I just wanted to share that much with you. And for those of you who have friends that are hesitant into stepping into this role, because it does come with it a responsibility to a degree. But if your heartstrings are pulling at you and you're getting all these downloads and these messages to work with the waters, right now is the perfect time to do it. You know, there's no more time to wait. We are in very crucial times now. We've gone past auspicious. We're in the crucial times now, and with these energies that we've all been experiencing over the last couple of weeks with the Lion's Gate and the lunar eclipse and full moon and now partial eclipse, and boy, oh boy, you know, just let's all ride that wave as best as we can with ease and grace, knowing that it will pass. And what a beautiful opportunity for us to shift all the things within ourselves and to shed the things that do not serve our highest good and our purpose. Thank you.
Thank you for that.
You gotta talk.
Pretty loud. Okay, thank you.
There we go. You're welcome.
Both the prayer, the introduction, the song, the voice, the.
They can't hear
Oh, I'm sorry.
because I could have
Oh, you need head. Okay, so
Talk loud.
I get to sometimes I go into my zone and I talk softly. So I will try to talk like the boisterous male that I'm supposed to represent. My divine feminine is activated, and it's a blessing to be here with each of you. And so, for the males who are listening to this, it's important that we also support the waters and bless the waters, and not just protect the waters in the ways that we have been taught as men, but to actually open our hearts and bless the water and give blessing and give thanks. Because the water, we are on the water. The water is us. There is no separation. And so today we spent all day blessing water, from which has been held in the light of the rising sun and the rising moon for since the new moon of last month, basically, when it was collected. And we collected it at the source, and Shelley, this was Shelley's guidance following her guidance. And I was there to support her with the masculine energy, both in the original gathering of the water, and then I, not carrying it, but I held the water with crystals, and until this time, this new moon, when we were called to release it back to Mother Ocean. And so it's been a blessing day for me. It started with the disappearance of the sun and a sprinkle of rain. And then when we reached the water, it began to rain. And as we started the blessing, it stopped. And it allowed us to, the waters calmed, and it allowed us to do the blessing, which was really an amazing process to acknowledge the acceptance of spirit, to be with us as we do this sacred work. So thank you to each of you who do this. And for those of you who might be entertaining doing this, I encourage you, please, to listen deeply with your hearts and to join in with so many around the world now who are awakening to the most precious element we have for life here, which is water. And so with that, I'm complete. I don't mean to talk too long, but thank you.
Thank you for those words. Thank you for holding space for both the masculine and the feminine. It's wonderful to hear you speak openly with no fear of being judged by other men who are still holding on to their egos and their masculinity. Those who are not understanding that we all have that masculine and feminine within us. So thank you for being that beautiful representation.
Thank you, Gentle Thunder, so much for joining our little water pool and spreading your goodness and be carried to every life being on this planet. That's how we sit here, as we really recognize that the work we're doing is spreading throughout the world, and it's spreading from the world to us as well, as we are receiving the work people are doing all over the planet as well. And one of the things I've been feeling recently is this work from the perspective of water, and how joyful, just overjoyed she is to know we're coming home to her and remembering her, and how much she needs to bless us, how much she's been longing for so long to be able to bless us and have that sacred relationship revived. And I just, whenever I'm at the river, I feel her thanking me for coming back into right relationship with her. And I feel my own intelligence coming to remember her as self. And feel that opening of my whole cellular body to receive her blessings upon me. And I also want to thank Karen and Shepherd Eagle and Hillary and all the faces. It just means so much to all of us that we show up like this.
Thank you, Elizabeth.
Incomplete.
Thank you. Thank you to all my sisters who are doing the work, and
Mhm.
knowing that we have this beautiful soul group is comforting, because for a lot of us, when we do this work, it's in solitude. We travel alone, and it's not an easy life sometimes, but we do it. We do it because that's what we know we're supposed to do. And we show up.
Mhm. And I thank those who can be out there, mobile and moving and with the water and wherever they're called. And you're right, it's not always an easy life.
Mm.
Um,
I'm getting ready to travel once again. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's calling me big time. So I'll be leaving for California, going to Mount Shasta next month, and Canada, where I've never been, by October, and who knows where else. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna flow like water in this journey, this beautiful journey.
so I'm in Nevada City, so if you pass by this way, you have a place to stay.
Oh, thank you, sister. Beautiful. Thank you. Thank
Go
you.
down to the Mama Yuba together.
Okay. Beautiful. Just hearing your voice, I just immediately started getting all teary-eyed. You probably saw me wiping my tears. And, you know, one of my Muskogee brothers said, bless yourself with your tears and your sweat, because they are the holiest of all waters. So that's what I was doing.
Me too.
Yeah, your voice, it was like a recognition that I experience from time to time. And so us being water carriers and water protectors, of course it makes sense to me. So it's good to see you again.
Likewise, very much so. You know, I started getting all weepy eyed as soon as I got on the call.
So let's open this up for other people to share where they are, their watersheds, and what's moving their tears and their heart. So feel free to just jump on, take yourself off mute. I know Maya is just ready to hop right on. So go ahead, Maya, and then we'll just opening it up. This is how this call works. A deep sharing of our waters.
I am. Can you hear me all right? You, for some reason, you all sound very muted to me, but I'm unmuted.
Just come, you're very far, you feel far away, Maya. Part of it is we need to talk here. We're going to work with this.
I don't know what to do. This is a new computer and it's been working fine.
Okay, just go ahead. You're far away from the speaker. That's all.
I'm right here. It's right in front of me.
Okay.
I don't know. I can try to speak louder. Is that better?
That's better.
Okay. Well, I'm so grateful to have made it here. And speaking of our own waters, I was, swimming in my own sweat in my car where the air conditioning is now broken. And it's been very hot here in Southern California. I'm in the Santa Barbara coastal watershed, and I was caught in traffic. There's currently an accident. And so it was unexpected traffic in the middle of the afternoon on a Saturday, and I didn't get back here in time on 3. And I was actually at a meeting of people, a community beginning to gather to really talk about what we're going to do about the seriousness of the drought here. It's now been upgraded to the worst drought in history in this area. So there's people now waking up to the preciousness of water and how are we going to work with this? How are we going to protect the water that we have and, share it and use it for what's important? And so that was just a beginning first, like open community meeting. So it's very much in awareness. And we also, different people spoke about not only are we having to be with the scarcity of the water right now at this time, but also there's new new assaults on the water with the oil companies wanting to really amp up their fracking and do new wells here in the Santa Barbara area. So we really have our hands full now to be the guardians and the protectors of our local waters. And so my heart is called to that work, as well as doing the, we call social activism, the ceremonial work and the communicating with the water herself. And so I'm just grateful to be here. I'm sorry I missed what you shared, Gentle Thunder, but I can listen to the recording. And I'm so glad you were able to be on, and it was beautiful looking at that wonderful water behind you, that body of water. And I've just been, you know, it's kind of the paradox of being here where we have so little water, the creeks and the rivers have dried up, but we have grandmother ocean, you know, all that water, not directly drinkable, but communing with her. And I was just quickly, Chair, was at a Qigong class on the beach yesterday, and we just chose, because of all being aware of the water, to do a lot of movements of waves and movements that had to do with the creatures in the ocean. There's a dolphin dive movement in Qigong, and we were doing all that, and then it was like we were in direct communication with Grandmother Ocean, because first of all, a enormous the sea eagle, the my brain is losing it. What is it called? Osprey flew right over us, right over where we were practicing. They have an enormous wingspan. And then about 10, 15 minutes later, a whole bunch of seals showed up and came really in close and were looking at us, putting their heads up and looking. Who are these people doing these movements? And then after that, a pod of dolphins came. And so we kind of, we really felt we were in dialogue with the ocean and the waters and the water creatures. And it was just so beautiful and reassuring. It's like they were saying, we're supporting you. We know that you're working to protect us, and we're here. So that was my gift for this week, to receive that communication. So I just feel blessed to see more and more people coming forward to honor and protect the waters, and understanding we are the water. There's nowhere to escape to. We are one. We must take care of the earth and the waters. So with that, I'm complete for now. I'm eager to hear from the others who showed up on our call today. Thank you. And I'm sorry I missed what you had to share, Charlie, but I do know, Gentle Thunder, that Charlie's a very unique man, and he's modeling something in the world of the masculine that is so much needed. And I know the waters are guiding him to step more and more into leadership with that. So thank you, Charlie.
Hello, can you hear me? Hi. Yes, I'm in Lancashire, and it's quite late in the evening, so I'll just say a few words before I go to bed. My husband doesn't know that what I'm doing here, so I can just hear him in the background. But yes, you may be aware that we've got fracking coming to our county, and this is what we're trying to stop before it begins, but our government is pushing ahead, and it's not looking too good at the moment. But hopefully we can all pull together spiritually on this to protect the waters globally, that we can have that protection somehow. That yeah, it's terrible to hear that in all these areas where fracking is going on, that people that live close to these sites are living in a sacrifice zone. And it's that the governments just don't care about people. So, you know, but it's pulling people together. This is what I would like to share, is that we do know that water is so important to us. And we had a week of water blessings at the site in June, and it was lovely to, you know, just connect on those levels. And it will continue, I'm sure it will, as connecting in that way with each other and with the water. And yeah, our prayers just are there for, well, I think it's all cleansing that's needed as well, of course. And we're visualizing that the land will be perfect in itself. It's like all this ugliness that is coming to the land with the oil and gas industry, that somehow we need to visualize a better environment, a better pristine nature in its place. And God bless you all, and let's all keep up the good work. Thank you for the invite for this gathering, and let peace be with us all. Thank you.
Hillary, just before you go, tell us where exactly are you so that we can hold you and hold the intention with you guys.
Okay. I'm in Lancashire, in the northwest of England, and I'm about 40 miles from the first fracking pad, which is about to go live next month. But there's basically, once this gets started, that it will just move right across the north of England. There are many, you know, companies getting prepared for action. So yeah, the northwest of England, and well, the northeast as well. All of us. Hello, are you there?
Yep, we're here.
Okay, yeah, I lost the picture then. So yes, I don't know if you follow any of it on Facebook, but there's Frack Free Lancashire. There's a group called Frack Free Lancashire, which is one of the groups I'm part of. And I'm in East Lancashire, so we have a Keep East Lancashire Frack Free group as well. Okay, and thank you, Shelley, for the invite. Bless you.
Yes, and for those of you that are new and just got on from the me putting out the Zoom, because we want to let everyone know, the way to really stay connected is to go to lovingwaters.life and sign in, so that you'll get the monthly update to know what we're up to and how we can stay connected. Because one of the things, can you hear me?
Yes.
Very little. Okay, hold on one sec.
I actually couldn't register for some reason, though.
So what you can do is just go to the Facebook page or personally message me, and I'll add you. Just give me your email, okay?
Oh,
if you're having
okay.
a problem. Someone else said they had a problem too. So Elizabeth, pay attention, because I thought I had it fixed. So, but you can go to I know that the registration on the New Moon page is clear. So we'll check it again after this call. Thank you for letting us know.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And be sure to connect your groups to Loving Water on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's Frack Free Lancaster.
Okay. Yeah, I'll share the group. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Well, we also have, just one more thing, a group called No Faith in Fracking, and this was more of a spiritual group where we put on a whole week of inviting different people. Buddhists, Catholics came, Quakers, just people of different faiths or none, and it was a beautiful week. So I'll add them too. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, bless you all. So I'll say good night to you. Sorry, I can't stay any
Good
longer.
night.
So
Good
the
night.
people that are
Dream
Thank
with
you.
the dolphins.
So the people
Thank
that
you.
are talking, make sure that you say who you are and where your watershed is, so we can know where you are. And it's really a something for people who are on the phone who aren't able to see people who are just listening with their ears. So we continue. Just feel free to jump in, and if you have any questions for Gentle Thunder, that's fine too. And I'm going to pass the crystalline talking stick.
Hello, everyone. This is Karen. Now I live at, I guess my watershed would be Lake Arenal, Costa Rica. It's in the northern half of Costa Rica. And of course, and not too far from, as the crow flies, from Lake Nicaragua, the Pacific Ocean. And of course, we're between the Caribbean and the Pacific. I've lived near water my whole life. I'm new to this call. I have a lot to learn. But I've been living near or on water, sailor, boater, sailor, literally lived on water as well as near water my whole life. I was born near Lake St. Clair, which is in between the Great Lakes, Huron and Erie, and moved east to New Jersey, where I was lived on the Metedeconk River and Barnegat Bay and near the Atlantic Ocean, and then across to not far from Delaware Bay and lived on the Sassafras River, Wharton Creek, and Chesapeake Bay, and then south to Florida, where I lived right near the Sebastian River into the Indian River, which is really a lagoon, and the Atlantic Ocean again. And now I'm in Costa Rica. And everywhere I've traveled, it's been water. And I know I've had past lives as beings in water, and I've always felt close to water. I even was a swimmer growing up, so I spent a lot of hours, 7 days a week, most of the time in water. And it's always been a huge part of my life. And when I heard about this call from Shelley, from the Monday call, I just knew that this was a place that was a home for me. But I not done ceremony a lot in my life, but I have worked with crystals and I'm starting to understand a little bit. So I have much to learn so I can start doing the blessings. It saddens my heart to hear you all talking of fracking. I know they were going to try and do that in Florida, but I think it got stopped in my county. I hope it did. Where I had lived for 22 years. So it saddens me because most of us know that we have never needed to be we never needed all this oil and gas. We've been able to produce power since Tesla's time. And there's so many ways to produce free energy that we don't need to be destroying the planet with all this oil and gas and fracking. And, it just saddens my heart. And I'm hoping that we're in the midst of the transition that will pull us away from all of that. Because as more technology gets released, the less and less we will need oil. It's just from greed at this point. So we can just hope that we can shift that consciousness enough to stop it. Because the water is the most precious thing on this planet to us, to everything on this planet. Without the water, there's no life. We are born 90-some% water. So I don't know there's beings that don't care or don't know any better. But hopefully we can change that. And And I feel so privileged to be here and part of this. And I look forward to learning more of what I can do. I'm in a wonderful country, though, where a lot of this is protected. And there is no fracking, there is no oil, there's none of that. There have been companies that have wanted to with CAFTA, which they didn't want to sign here, for offshore drilling. But so far, they've kept it all from happening here. And so it's still a fairly pristine country. And our power comes from hydro, water, wind, and geothermal. And that's how this country is powered. So it's quite unique in many ways. And they're working to be completely oil-free, with vehicles and everything in the fairly shortly coming years. I know the goal was 2020. I don't know if it'll be achieved, but they are working on it and going to, at least for until we have everything not needing fuel like vehicles, would be all biodiesel. So anyway, I'm very grateful and feel very privileged to have met you all today and become part of this. So thank you again for letting me know, Shelley, and sharing this.
Karen, sorry, just remind you that you already know everything you need to know in your own relationship to water. It's love, 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 love.
Hi, this is Deborah. I hope I'm heard. I believe I'm on the St. Vrain Watershed right now in Colorado. And I'm looking out at a private lake, which I believe is actually the drinking water for Longmont, Colorado, probably where Gentle Thunder is. And I've been doing this work for a few years, and I love to hear about the osprey flying overhead because I was in Florida doing water healing for a couple years ago, and I love the osprey. And I place copper sacred geometry tools in the water, and I say mantra in the water, and I do motions in the water. And I had a new experience this week where I also do ecstatic dance, and there's a very powerful ecstatic dance community here in Colorado, and it's very powerful medicine. And I had the experience of having my water bottle on the dance floor with me and dripping with sweat, and I actually put this water on the floor where all the vibration of 200 people dancing went into this water, and I consciously began to dance to the water. And I really I get chills thinking about this, but I had this experience where I got this direct knowledge of dancing to the water will heal the water. And this may sound obvious, just like chanting and drumming and singing, but there was a way in which I really experienced that consciously, because dancing, in terms of how humanity has healed itself and kept its wholeness throughout history and connected to the earth, is a very, very, very important healing piece. And so I just have decided that I'm about to journey again. I'm about to leave Colorado and journey to Missouri and work this year with the Big Muddy. At least that is my current calling. And it's kind of scary for me because it's a bit of an unknown place and a different type of environment that I'm usually in. But the Big Muddy is calling me. And I know that I'm going to go and I'm going to teach some sort of a class about creating water mandalas. And now I have this piece of dancing to the water. So actually what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take some of that water that I danced to and I'm going to put it in this lake, and I'm going to go swim and dance in this lake, which is the water supply for Longmont, and I'm going to pray that all the people that drink this water are going to awaken to what water is in actuality. And yeah, so I'm happy, I'm honored, I'm grateful to be on this call with you all. I haven't been on this call for quite a while, and I'm very happy to reconnect, and hopefully we will all journey and be blessed and bless as we go. Thank you.
We are
Thank you,
together.
sister.
We dance with you.
Hello.
Hi, we hear you.
Okay, this is Flo. I'm in Illinois, and I'm with the Watershed of the Great Lakes, Lake Michigan. And I'm sorry I disrupted before, but I was having bad connection problems. So I'm just going to be on the phone right now. And I don't know if Shanti Hart spoke already or not, but we just came from the headwaters of the Mississippi, where we did a beautiful water ceremony. And we kind of tried to get off to the side away from the tourists. But funny thing is, they wanted to see what we were doing, and they wanted to watch us do our ceremony, and it was awesome. And I was honored to be with Shanti Hart and Danette Rizzo and grandmother Diane Henry. And we had a wonderful time with the water of the headwaters of the Mississippi. And it's so good to hear about dancing with the waters, because I love dancing and I love water. So those are two good things together. And I'm happy to be here on this call and listen to all of the great ideas that all of you have for helping things out. And I love you all, and I'm grateful and appreciative to be part of this call. Thank you. I'm done.
Just to let you know, Flo, Shanti Hart isn't on this call, so you were the one who informed us of what you were doing. I know you've been working with, I have one answer. Anyway, I have, yeah, so just thank you for expanding your love and sharing with us. And this is the beauty, so much of the call is just, it's really the reciprocity of the water that comes through, where we all just it's what's so amazing is it's not just like ascension and going up, it's like going wide. We get to go, the river within us widens from our collective sharing, and that's something that I really delight in, just, and even today, just we Charlie was sharing that we took the headwaters of the Saco River to the ocean, because there's now 6 or 7 dams, and just to have listened to Carol Blodgett, grandmother Carol Blodgett, and who's been walking the waters, walking all the way with the water so that it can make it to the sea without any obstruction. And I feel like it's such a message for us. And it was just so beautiful getting to have that experience today of carrying this water, and watching again, Charlie, the way just taking those crystals that have been blessed and putting them out in the water, throwing them out in the water in a geometric pattern in a Merkaba. And for me, I work with the Ponamu stone from New Zealand, and it is the stone of peace. There's so much about that stone, but today to carry it to the ocean and put that in the center. Oh my God, you have to picture this. Okay, so we're almost done with the blessing. And Charlie, I said, I'm handing this to you, brother, to take the stone, the ponamu. And I just said, just throw it in the middle. Charlie just like walks into the ocean with jeans on. And he just walks to the center, and then he bends down, hoping his camera didn't get wet, and puts the crystal in, with so much love. And these are the things this is why this is a wisdom share. We're just sharing what delights us, and I love that, and I love the piece about dancing to the water, because when I was in Australia, I got called to, to go to Taos, and then I came to New Hampshire, and then the next whale, information was I needed to teach people how to track energy in their body, and this so is in alignment with the dance, because when we're tracking energy in the body, what are we tracking? We're tracking the water. And that slowing down, even if the music is going fast, just slow way down, and to notice like a kelp bed with the sunlight on water, how that energy is moving and how it speaks to us. And I was just getting this hit when you were speaking. So I feel this is just, knowledge you cannot get in college, as my old guru used to say, that there's a magic here, and this is how she speaks to us. She speaks to us through our love, our explorations of how to work with her, our willingness to really accept the beauty that we are as light beings, and that she responds and gives back in ways we can't imagine. I mean, even today, I was supposed to teach dowsing till 12. I said, Charlie, you can't come till 12, which was going to cut our time short. And of course, would I even think that the two people I'm dowsing for, they want to move it to Sunday, this morning or late last night. Of course, it's like, of course, she is creating the tributaries for us to come together. So I just love this, and thank you. Taquias.
So I want to thank you, Deborah, for sharing about dancing with the water, because it re-inspires me. Dance has been my primary mode of expression most of my life, and it was back in 1987 when I first got drawn to the waters, and I realized what I was doing is I was up in the back country next to this beautiful stream that went over a waterfall into a pool. And what I was doing was dancing. I was looking at the vortex movements in the water, and I was dancing with them. And that's what brought me into resonance. And then the water spoke to me through my heart. And so just remembering that was my first contact, as they say, with the intelligence of the water. And sometimes in my water ceremonies, I do some qigong with people, but more I focus on them speaking prayers and singing. And I think I need to really let the dance back in more strongly. So thank you for that, because remembering, and that was my original connection with the water, and we feel ourselves become water as we dance. So yes, tracking the water, the path of the water in our bodies, shall we? Thank you.
Me too.
I'll remember that too when I get to the water. I did forget there is one other lake here that I live near that is the most amazing place to come to. It's a smaller lake, but it's a crater lake that I feel is connected through the earth to other lakes. I feel like there's a whole system through the planet from these bodies of water and that there's a whole world there. And it's called Lake, we call it Lake Cote, and it's the energy at that lake is so strong, so phenomenal, that I've had people that normally can't even feel energy could still feel it. We've done other ceremony there, but I've been down and just sort of stand there with the lake, and it's just an amazing place. If you all ever come to Costa Rica, please get in touch with me. We'll go to the lakes, and then, of course, this is a rainfall, a rainforest area, so there's just lots and lots of water, tributaries, rivers, streams. I mean, it's everywhere. I mean, you can't escape it here. We're in a very heavy rainy season. Maya, I wish I could send you some of our rain. We're getting a little tired of it. We've had so much, and it's causing a lot of landslides and things on our road and everything, and it's excessive here, but it's filling our lake back up again, which had been used to, we had an unusual drought times in parts of Guanacaste, and so our lake is filling up, and so it's you can't escape water if you live where I live right now. It's everywhere, and when people complain, I just smile and say, yeah, but we have water, you know. And they think about that and go, oh, well, you're right. We are very, very blessed. We have an abundance of water here. So, and so I think I'll go dance at the lake the next time. Thank you.
Karen, you remind us of a very important truth, that there is only one water on Earth. There's only one, and it's the hydrogen bonds, it's the connectivity that makes water what it is. Water cannot exist in singularity. There's only one water on Earth, and it's always speaking to herself. So yes, there is a system throughout the world that connects water to water to water to water to water. And I believe it's how we communicate telepathically, is through the water, because we're all water. Yeah. So when we dance with that in our hearts.
I just want to say, I want to come to Costa Rica, and the other thing I want to say real quick is, this is Deborah, is, you know, we live in such crucial times, and as I look out right now, the ozone is so bad, the air quality in Colorado is so bad, and we're struggling, this planet is struggling right now, but it's not. It's actually, we're in such an amazing clearing process. And to hold our awareness with the water is really our saving grace. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Hi, this is Flo again. And I wanted to expound, since Shanti didn't say anything about the Mississippi, the headwaters of the Mississippi thing. We were able to swim in the headwaters and spend some time there. And we actually stayed at a hostel at Lake Itasca State Park, which is, the headwaters is right there. And we met a young man there, a 29-year-old man who is from Belgium. And he flew from Belgium to the very top of Canada in January, and he's on a mission to get to the very tip of South America with no motorized vehicles. So he skied and kite skied through Canada, and then when it got too warm, he got on his bicycle and was staying at Lake Itasca State Park, the hostel there. And while we were there, he left on his kayak, and he was taking his kayak from the headwaters of the Mississippi to New Orleans, and where he was going to try to find a sailboat or something. But this young man was very inspiring, and it was really an inspirational part of the trip. And there are people doing things to see if they can do it. And I'm sure, I can't imagine all the lessons he's going to learn on the Mississippi River, if not everything else. But that was really a neat part of our adventure. Thank you.
That was the old way of travel, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, if he gets to Costa Rica, tell him to look me up.
I might add his Facebook address to the Loving Waters, just so you can kind of follow him and see how far he's gotten. And he's doing a blog and everything along the way. Don't ask me how. I saw the stuff he was putting in that kayak, and it's just amazing.
That'd be great. That's awesome. That would be really, this is how we interconnect, where we get to see what, like for me, inspiration is really that arising of the waters within our consciousness, that inspire. Yeah. So I love what's coming through. We're such adventurous water carriers, just like Gentle Thunder was saying. Complete. Elizabeth, would you like to read that poem? Because no one is heard, or I can go upstairs and get it, but I think you have it. It would be very beautiful. Huh?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Hang on, let me find it. Let me pull it up.
Okay. So Elizabeth has written this poem. It's so beautiful, and we're gathering. There's a group of us called Sacred Connections, and on the 8/8 Lions Gate, we gathered people from the UK, Elizabeth, myself, Australia, and it was just really beautiful. And each bringing speaking of inspiration, inspirational water voices forward through poem, through song, not through dance. So I'll have to bring that one up to them. Yeah, Elizabeth shared this, and it was just really beautiful, and I want to invite her to share it with this group as well.
So this poem is called Our Pool of Dreams. It was written in 1999 originally, and it was a transformational poem for me at that time. It changed my life. And it's about the connection that we make. And as I've grown as the water faithful, I realized that it's the water speaking, and it's that. And so it's been changing over the years, just a word here and a word there. But now it's really growing into itself as being the water speaking to us in her love for us. So, dear water faithful friend, do you remember the fleeting moment, barely caught, tightly spanned between asleep and awake, just before we'd forgotten ourselves into deepest sleep? One fluid beating heart is in a moment glimpsing the expansive realms of our unlimited potentiality. When, as our thoughts thicken, they liquesce into shining opalescent pools and are remembered thus as dreams. As silvery beads of mercurial memories, water puddles across the taut, stretched plains of our consciousness, as shimmering reflections, mirrors to ourselves. Come, can you recall? Instinctually resting on a beautiful mossy edge of an especially brilliant indigo pool, laced through and through with a glowing filigree of gold and violet light, where as you peer into the water gathered, you see the luminous diffraction of your own face, a rich, reverberant, vibrational song in ever-changing rings of frequency resonating inward towards the shores, vibrant, sacred, wise, bubbling, and alive. You melting. Yet, the eyes you gaze upon are as steady as your heartbeat, still, unwavering, embracing all as our own mother, kissed sweetly as a cherished sacrament, lost, now found. Do you remember? Then remember me as I am the one life holding you all in this imperfect vision. Eyes peering through the portals, pools of our own souls, beholding you, beholding me, holding all. I am crouched like a wild one, laughing joyously to have you see me, and you, there on the other side of the thin and still thinning veil, peering from the raised edges into our own mossy deep pool of dreams. In welcoming remembrance, we smile. As we touch our own small child's finger gently upon these radiant reflections of self, we moistly caress our faces transposed as our own. Each reaches past the gossamer veil beyond this vast illusion of separation, where we shed a drop of the dream upon our myriad tongues like a golden tear. Tasting the specific sweetness of moisture source, we remember us as thus we are home. Clearly, it is in this place of pure peace, of unborn possibilities, we shall forever be, remembering ourselves, living together as one water's love, now and forever.
Beautiful.
Thank you all for the opportunity to share it.
Merged with the waters, listening to that.
May the water hear our hearts. We are together. So inspire is in breath. Spire is breath. As conspire is to breathe together. So that's what we're doing right here, right now.
Flo, did you want to share? I think I might have muted you. Anyway. Well, this feels like a very beautiful place to allow concurrent waves to continue. And just the invitation to stay connected and share the beauty of your experiences with water through poem, through prayer, through dance. If make a video, if you're going to dance, have someone, and just to allow this to ripple out. So for anyone who's watching this and is really feeling the depth of your own ocean right here, right now, make sure that you go to the lovingwaters.life. And this is not about trying to build a database. It's about allowing people to see where we are. Because I even got a call last week asking for someone who was going, I think they were going to the Midwest, and they said, is there anyone doing water blessings out there? You know, and this is really what we're about. Charlie taught me today how to make a grid. And he's making grids. He takes notes of where people are on this call. And believe me, you'll be on a grid tomorrow. And so we're moving into the next phase of Loving Waters, and that we will get up a map so people can find each other. Because that's been one of the, I can remember the very first call that we ever had. And people were in tears because over and over and over again, people have said, you know, I've been doing water blessings for 10 years myself. And I never knew there was anybody else out there doing it. And what are you, and then asking, well, what are you doing? And what are you doing? And so for those of you who don't know as well, we have a water blessing brochure. It's so simple on Loving Waters website. And you can go there and just download it and use it for your children or your schools or your communities or your water blessing. If you're really just learning, it's a great tool. And then even Charlie was saying yesterday how he went up to Mount Agamenticus and he was putting a rose quartz crystal in the center of a grid, and he needed to get through a place that was blocked off. And long story short, they allowed him to do it, but then he came back, and guess what he did? Because he said, well, what we're doing is really legitimate. We're not just making this up, or, and handed them a Loving Water brochure. So there are things that we can do, and bring your ideas to us because we want to spread them as well. So just wanted to share that into the field. And of course, Loving Waters on the Facebook page, come and share. And it's really incredible to stay connected. So with that, Charlie has a beautiful Waitaha poem, which he can read in, and we'll share our gratitudes and say thank you for being here. And Gentle Thunder had to go, so we totally send our love and blessings to her as well.
Yes. The one thing I also want to add to the field of resonance here is that sometimes as humans, we tend to overthink things. And what I've been finding, the simplest thing I'm telling people now is just Dr. Emoto's simple blessing of, I love you, I thank you, I respect you, and telling them to do it to the water within their own body. And responses have been that since they've been doing that, they feel differently. And this is what our message as water guardians, as water protectors, and water people who will hold it sacred, is really to return the memory of the human being back to how precious it is within them, as well as around us, and how we utilize it. That within us, the water flows and creates amazing energies that we've only just begun to tap into because we've not paid attention for so long. And so with that, I encourage people to just remind people of the preciousness of water. It doesn't have to be a whole song and dance, although that's beautiful, but just in our daily conversations, remind them. And so, with that said, and I know you all do that, so I'm speaking to the choir, but that's okay. There are people who will hear you. And this is the Waitaha water prayer. Let my spirit, my deep mind travel to the spaces in between the water patterns. Let my heartbeat echo the tinkle and bell sounds of the water deep within my body. Let me hear the memories of the gods and goddesses. Let me hear the memories of the angels and ancestors. Let me send my voice into every atom of water that is in me, water that is in front of me, behind me, around me, above me. Let all the forms of water hear my resonance in this time and forever carry my blessings and wishes to the highest mountains, to the heavens. Then let all the living and dying creatures and humans hear the sounds of the joy of creation, resonating in every sentient form in this universe and others, to be the sound that sings forever and eternal in the mind song of creation. I love you all. I thank you all. I respect you all.
So let's just take a few minutes in silence. I'd like to invite in the consciousness of the JPod and J35 that even after 10 days is still carrying her dead baby on her nose up in the San Juan Islands, the orcas, those beautiful orcas that have big hearts on their backs if you've ever looked carefully. I'd like to invite the consciousness of the Gulf, the red tide, that's been getting stronger and worse, killing thousands and thousands and thousands of fish, manatees, dolphins, and turtles. I'd like also to bring into the center of this circle the fires, the drought, and that the universe shed her tears, her love on those lands. And to bring into the center of this circle the children, that this beauty and unconditional love and harmony and reunification with their families happen quickly and with ease. And we bring into the center of this circle and within these waters all those who are in every phase of awakening, to honor them, to be forgiving of their waters, and to allow this deep, resonant field of love to expand through the songlines of our hearts and out to the planet. Not to forget, we are water.
That all those without clean water receive what they need to nourish their bodies. Clean, pure, sparkling water.
So with beauty and love and grace, you can unmute yourselves. And we all can take a glass of water, whether it's sacred, it's all sacred water. Love you. Thank you. We respect you. And we are you. Woohoo! So we'll see you on the full moon. So if you need help with any blessings, get a hold of us. We'll help you. And take your love, take your water out to your watershed for the next full moon. Blessings on this auspicious night, evening, day, wherever you are. From loving waters to you.
Thank you, Cal.
Thank you.
Aloha.
Aloha.
Love and light from Costa Rica.
Bye, bye,
Dance,
Toad.
dance, dance.
Yeah.